Okay, well that's not what I expected at all. Right, well, that's what you get for trying to do it in the middle of the night. Hi everyone, so I work as a delivery driver for a local constabulary, no, not constabulary, for a local chip shop. And I have a lot of downtime with me just driving places, listening to music, and I thought, you know what I could do? I could have a driving podcast. Exactly what I'm doing. So I really hope this isn't shit, because I'd have to do it again, and I don't really want to do that. So it is 6 o'clock at night at in England, jolly old England. It's like 4 degrees. I'm going home after I deliver this, so I can pick up a jumper because it's a bit chilly. I usually have a. I'm actually using the selfie cam. Not sure how that's going to do. I hope it uses a good mic, because I might have to use an external mic or something like that. I might get like a mic or something to put on here or something. I don't know. So I hope that the car sounds don't drown everything out. So yeah, the podcast I was going to decide on doing was like a I don't know, like a just a news and shit podcast, but like every time I tried to get things sorted, I entirely forgot. So I only have a few bits of news. So I guess we'll get started with the only bits of news that I know of. So weather, apparently. So before we even go, I was going to start off with like there's going to be 5 segments: politics. I don't talk about politics often, and I don't like politics. So, but I thought I'd divulge my opinions on them anyway. Politics, science and technology, gaming. Shit, what was the other one? Science and technology, gaming. Oh, I don't know. I was going to do a film review, which I'm going to do a film review. Actually, I'm going to review a film that I've seen recently, and stupid shit the Sun says, because at work we have the Sun newspaper and it's shit. But I haven't read it today, so I don't actually know what is going off. So I will have to sort that out in a bit. Before we even go, I was going to start off with like there's going to be 5 segments: politics. I don't talk about politics often, and I don't like politics. So, but I thought I'd divulge my opinions on them anyway. Politics, science and technology, gaming. Shit, what was the other one? Science, technology, gaming. Oh, I don't know. I was going to do a film review, which I'm going to do a film review. Actually, I'm going to review a film that I've seen recently, and stupid shit the Sun says, because at work we have the Sun newspaper and it's shit. But I haven't read it today, so I don't actually know what is going off. So I will have to sort that out in a bit. I'm going to go into more detail as to what I wanted to do with this thing. I work. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So it's going to be. I was hoping it was going to be like a daily weekend kind of thing, but really now a daily weekend kind of thing. With like not I don't go out on Friday. Yeah, there we go. Okay, good. But I do it on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday because of you know, I need a little bit of time to edit it, and such like. So what was I saying? Yes, a weekend thing from Monday. No, not Monday. I'm lying. Saturday to whatever the hell I said. Tuesday. But I have a slight feeling that might be a bit too ambitious. I'm not entirely sure, because that would require me to read a load of articles over, I don't know, quite a bit of time. So I think what I'll do, I'll try and do like 1 a week, and then we'll head over to 2, just to see how much the workload is. Because I need to figure out which sources to go to, because technology I'll probably go to Ars Technica. Gaming, I don't really want to go to Kotaku, so I'll probably just go to the gaming subreddit or something like that. Sorry, but really don't know how this is going to turn out, to be honest with you, but we'll see. Politics. BBC, I guess. I guess I'll go to the BBC because I wanted to do like a politics for England, Britain, and then the politics for America. Like, I don't really know anything to do with politics, but I'd just like to get my opinion in because a lot of people do that anyway. And because I did read actually that, ironically, I did read it in the Sun, that we're going to have, quote, Arctic conditions next week on Friday, which is, like I said, this week is the 9th-ish, something like that. It's actually Monday, just to let you know. I'd forgotten that. On Friday. Yeah, Arctic conditions on Friday. So I don't really know how that's going to affect my job, because, I mean, I suppose we're still going to have to deliver, but if there's snow on the ground, then that's going to be a bit weird. So, yeah, don't get me wrong, I really like snow. I mean, when you don't need to do anything in it, oh shit, it's great. There's a friggin' ambulance here. You don't need to do anything in it, it's great and loads of fun, but of course, when you need to do something, I've never driven in snow, just to let you know, so you shall see. Hell, I mean, you're probably going to need to add on a few minutes to get out the road, love, to, you know, make sure I'm safely there and all that stuff, so give me more chance to actually do this. Pretty good. But I'm going to make sure that I know the headlines and stuff, and at least the gist of what I'm going to be saying. Otherwise, I don't want to seem... I mean, I don't want to seem ignorant on the subject, but when it comes to politics, I probably will be. I suppose we could start off with the film review. Let's start off with the film review then, because that might be able to, I might be able to gather my thoughts then to what we're going to be doing. So, yeah, the film that I'm reviewing today is actually Zootopia. Or Zootropolis, as it's also known, or vice versa, because I checked them both up and they're apparently both right. So yeah, so it's basically about it's a story about how my life got twisted up. No, about how basically anthropomorphic animals, like everything, all animals, from the small to the high, to short to the big. It's basically just a world of that, really, and it focuses on this kid called Judy, kid rabbit called Judy. I think her name's Judy. I forget. We watched this it's like the 9th now or something like that, and we watched this on New Year's Eve. I think her name's Judy, and she wants to be in the police force. Ben was like, "Well, there's never any bunny's been in the police force because you know they're police and bunnies are tiny and everyone else isn't." And she gets to a bully, and that makes her want to be more. And then, spoilers, she does get into the academy. She does get to become a a police officer. Things transpire, and she gets to be given a case of missing persons, missing animals, missing persons, whatever. She, needless to say, obviously, it wouldn't be a kid's film without her actually finishing it. And what a lovely film this film is. I think it's one of my top 10 films of all time now. Because I have this thing that where if the ending isn't as good as I like it to be, then I feel really disappointed. And this film did not disappoint me at all. It was excellent. The animation, the fluffiness of the characters, even the none of the people seem to be played by people known. Well, at least I knew. I don't know. Thanks there. Brake lights. And the only person we knew in there was Shakira. And even then she was only at the start. At the end, sorry. Well, she may have been less at the end. I don't remember. She did a little bit at the end with, you know, the sequence. The ending sequence with people singing and shit like that, yeah. And she was on that. I'm not sure if she was on anywhere else. Oh, I think she had one. What do you call it? One scene where she was. I don't know. Whatever. Oh crap. Yeah, I think she had one scene. Maybe. Anyway, the point is, it doesn't seem to be many people that we knew, and I thought that was pretty good. They're all very good voice actors. They played it well. The animation was spectacular. I mean, it looked really, really nice as well. I don't remember much of the music, but I assume it was nice. I didn't really research this as much as I should have done. I probably should have watched it again. It was free, actually. It was a Sky store. You got $13.99 free for Christmas and stuff like that. So I would wholeheartedly recommend Zootopia. It is excellent. Or Zootropolis, whatever the hell it's called. I'm gonna see edits in this because I'm gonna have to be like, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna say because I've forgotten. So let's do gaming actually, because I've got another 5 minutes or so until I'm there. Gaming 7.1.5. Our WoW patch is hitting soon. I think it's hitting on Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday because Wednesday morning is EU patch notes, and brings forth some much needed and some much not needed changes to people, changes to our classes. I play a demon hunter main. I used to play, for those people that don't know, I used to play a monk, and then I played a rogue for a bit, but then my friend that played WoW with me had stopped playing WoW because he's got a job and all that adult stuff. So yeah, I play on my old server now. So I'm playing a demon hunter, and I like it a lot. It's pretty good, but we've had a bit of changes. This is still the problem. There's where I am, there's a bit of roadworks, and there are piles of it. It's basically a city skyline city that I've made. I might cheat actually and go the other way. I might do that. In fact, I'm going to do that. Yes. So yeah, and I'm hoping there's certain things as well that it comes. I haven't actually seen the patch notes, and even then I couldn't look at the patch notes now because I'm driving. But I've heard some issues like Metamorphosis in Demon Hunter. The percentage of leech is going down, which I think it's going down to 70%, which is still okay. I mean, 100% leech is fantastic, and 70% leech is still great. I should have gone that way actually, bollocks. Oh, I'll see you later. And I think the major one that's going to do is the artifact power stuff. You now go right up to level 15, I think. Come on, car. Thank you. Level 15, which well, I think it's actually the 5 up to where you are. So if you're level 9, then you can only get up to level 5, or you know, if you're level 11, you can get up to level 10 or something like that. So I should probably get on with that. Yeah, you can get up to the maximum level 15. Your artifact power levels dictate dictate the maximum. The more you get, more AP basically. Like the percentage amount of AP you get just goes up a lot. So that's fairly good for alts and stuff like that. I'm not sure if you can do that right at the start, like as soon as you get your artifact. I'm not sure if you can do that or not. That'd be pretty good though, really, because you can't stockpile AP power because the items you get with AP on them don't change. They are a set amount on the. I really hope all these aren't. Oh, it's raining! Yay! Aren't going to be coming up on the video, but we'll see. I guess this is just a pilot after all. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to bring a load of changes. I mean, I've delved into the druid. What else have I delved into? Rogues, obviously. I mained a mage back in the day. But she was moved over to the horde side, so yeah, I mean, I'm not playing it. I played the druid a little bit. Like I said, I've not really looked at any of the patch notes, which is very silly of me, but I didn't have time. to sort that out. So I've actually just thought of another gaming subject. Just realised just earlier, this is going to be credited way out of order, so hi, this is me from the future. I've got a hat on and my jumper. So, there was a video from a popular gaming website. I forget the name of the website. I think it might be IGN or Polygon. Oh, one of those. And it was a video of the comparison between Dead Rising 1 and Dead Rising 4. Just the massive difference in small little details. It's like they've gone complacent. Let me explain first. Dead Rising 1 had loads of little things you could do, like in a restaurant full of chairs that you could pick up. All of the chairs you could pick up. In a sports shop you could pick up golf clubs and play golf and hit zombies and all that stuff. Baseball bats and all that shitty malarkey and all that stuff. It was a great game. Played it on my Xbox 360 back in the day. This was years ago now. But 4, they go to pretty much all of the places from 1. I don't know if it's set in the same place. I'm not sure, but all of the same like places. Like they went to a forecourt with all there's a food forecourt where there's bollocks, what they called chairs. Fucking hell, chairs. And they went to a sports shop and all that stuff. None of the chairs you could pick up. There was no interactivity between the baseball bats and all that stuff, and it was just ridiculous the amount that it's gone back. And I think this is all due to complacency in the market. For instance, Call of Duty for the last God knows how many years have pretty much vomited out the same video games every time. Although this time they've actually changed with Infinite Warfare, which looks quite good. I'm hopefully doing a Let's Play on that pretty soon. And I mean, with Battlefield, pretty much doing the same thing as well. Like the whole malarkey with Infinite Warfare and Battlefield 1's videos. Battlefield 1's videos got high praise, but trailer, sorry, and Infinite Warfare's trailer got universally panned. Even though I think Call of Duty's game looks better. Am I going the right way? Yes, I think I am. Yes, sorry, I'm. Yeah. Okay. So with I played a bit of the Battlefield campaign and stuff like that. It's not brilliant, if you ask me. Same with the multiplayer. It's not all that great. So this is all due to complacency, really. They can just vomit out a new game, and people will buy it. Which is ironically enough, people will buy it because it's got that right. It's got that particular name on it. Same thing with The Sims. The Sims 4 is bollocks, but we'll talk about that in a later date. It's just very disappointing to see this sort of thing happen to a very silly but very critically acclaimed series. Really, it's disappointing to say the least, is what I'm saying. Right, so I've just thought of a great part of the podcast here. I'm just going to call it Simon Talks, or Simon Moans, or something like that, because I have an idea of what I want to talk about next week. Come on, there we go. About next week, or next time rather, but this time I want to talk about delivery drivers. Me, basically. And explain to you the trials and tribulations of what it's like to be. Well, not really. I'm just going to explain a few things. So let's talk about taking things off me. So I'm handing you a bag. It's usually double knotted, because if it's not, then it usually untangles, and that's really annoying. And I usually hold it. You got double knotted, obviously. If you've got double knots, you've got the two hoops, and then underneath you can just pick it up. I hold it in that picky up area, especially when I've got loads of them. I hold it in that picky up area underneath all of the hoops, so that people can grab the hoops. And I would say probably about 5% of the people that I've actually gone to actually hold the hoops. They pick it up from where I'm holding it, and I really want to say to them, guys, come on, I'm holding it underneath where the hoops are, so you can grab the hoops off me. I mean, sometimes the hoops aren't that big. When we've crammed something into one big bag, yeah, sure, it's not that big. But then again, that wouldn't be a time where I'd be holding it underneath, because I'd need to hold it in the tiny hoops. Otherwise, it might break. And I've had that happen a few times, so I don't usually do that anymore. But come on, people, if I'm holding it underneath the little hoops area, then that's your cue to pick the bags up from the hoops. Also, sorry about the bumpiness. I'm going down a traffic calming area, as they are called in England. I don't know what they're called everywhere else. Secondly, money. I don't really mind how you give me your money, to be honest with you. You can be in 20s. Like, I always get the change that I wait in the car when I'm here and get the change that I need for, because in England we've got £20 notes and £10 notes, and that's all you need, really. I've never seen a £50 note in my life, but I assume they exist. So if it's, for instance, £9.80, I will get 20p out, and I will get a 10p out, a tenner out. A tenner is £10. So that if I've got a 20, if you give me a 20, then I can pay either way. And the same thing for about £13 or something like that. Then I will get £2 and £5 out, £5 note out. But I don't mind how you pay, to be honest with you. It's all good. But the best people are the people that pay in change, because if you pay in change, I don't have to faff about in the shop getting change. The best people, I had someone recently, last Sunday if I remember correctly, who, it was £22.50 I think, something like that. They gave me £22 in pound coins, and they were my favourite customer of the day. Usually are the favourite customers of the day for those people that pay in change, because then I don't have to faff about in the shop. I could just get on with answering the phone or whatever needs to be at the time. I mean, not really at the minute, because there's only three in at the minute, and it's not really that busy. But still, it's just great. Just great. So, I guess, as a delivery driver, I salute you for giving me change in that. I mean, I've got a bag full of change. No, I'm committed now. Went to yellow. I'm really going to see what I can do when it comes to the wobbling. I'm going to try and sort it out. Oh, you shithead. I'm going to try and sort it out, but oh yeah, I've got a hat on because it's a bit chilly. Thirdly, I'm going to go through all of the different types of people that I've discovered whilst actual use of that word, nice, on my travels around this Midlands. So there's the one person. First type of people are those people that just want to get in there and get out as soon as possible. They get the food, give me the money, or not, because they can pay online. They can they take the thing, say goodbye, and then it's done within 2 seconds, basically. 2 seconds, like, yep, thanks, bye. And then again, we'll use the kids change, thanks. Speaking of which, actually, we've gone on a tangent first. Tips. Lots of people give me tips around Christmas time. I think the highest tip I've got is £7 from an old lady. I reluctantly took that because she was an old lady, but I was like, thank you very much. What? I went back to her house actually and gave her a new menu, because the menu that I saw she was using looked like it was from the 1920s. place that I worked wasn't around. And, well, you know, it might have been. It's like, oh, jolly gee, sir. She's like, look it up. Oh dear. Yeah. So just wanted to make sure she was okay. Yeah, tips. I'm not really bothered, thanks. But I will take them, obviously. I'm not going to say no thanks, I will give you your change. But I will take them, but I mean, it's not, I mean, it's a perk, as it were. I get paid enough. Although the government needs to stop paying me, because money at this part-time, they're getting me to backdate it from September. But that's, you know, there at the minute. Yeah. There's those people. Secondly, there's those people that come to the door, a little chat with you. You usually do. How's it going? How's the weather and all that stuff? Oh, it's cold out here. No, I'm not cold. Thank you very much. I've been out here all day anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I'm like, yeah, those are nice people. Not to say these people aren't nice people, mind. I mean, I don't really mind. I'm number two. I will give you a little bit of talking to if you want, and if you start to talk to me and all that stuff. So I don't really mind that. And then there's a third person who I'm going to explain after I cut here, because I'm just hit work, so I'm going to have to talk after this. So here we are, back again. Which way is the best way to go? This way, isn't it? Yes. So where were we? Yeah, number 3 are those people that. Oh yeah, number 3. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, number 3 are those people. I always find these hilarious. Actually, there's two types of number 3s. The first number 3 are those people that wait at the door, and as soon as they see you, open the door. And wait. It's either they wait for me to get out of the car, depends when they see me really, or wait for me to, what's going on here? Thank you. Or wait for me to get out of the car and then they'll come to the door. And then they're either number 2 or number 1s from that on. Oh, God, that sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? Number 2 or number 1s. And then there's the other type of number 3, who, and these are the best ones, they know you're there. They can tell, because I've seen them in the window, in the door window, if they've got a door window. And they're just hanging there. You can tell that they've seen me, but they don't want to seem over-eager, because I have turned into number 3 before, especially when those that have taken so long to get here. I always look at the thing, and then it's always here. Oh, well, there's no point in me going back into the living room now, because I'm just going to have to come back again, so I'm just going to wait here and plod along. And then they take so long to get out of the car. It's... Oh dear, yes, I've turned into those things. But yeah, those kind of number 3s, they wait for you to knock on the door, and then you can tell that they either open the door straight away, and I'm like, you alright? Because I know they've been there, or they wait a couple of seconds, and then they open the door. Oh, I can hear a burglar alarm going off. Don't know where it's from though. Also, I've noticed that because I'm out in the fresh air, quote unquote. I mean, it's not really fresh. I'm in the middle of a town here, fumes and all that. But I would say a good 20% of the houses that I go to stink, and I'm not. Well, I am, because smoking is stupid. That's not really a conversation I'm going to have this time. But oh, thank you. You've now told me how much I've got left. 55 minutes, okay. I can do this in 720p because it's, what do you call it? It's what is it? It's vertical. I'm going to actually sort this out so it looks a little bit better in horizontal. I'm just going to sort it out. Yeah, I mean, I assume you can't smell it. To be quite frank, I think our house probably smells a little bit because we have a rabbit and 4 guinea pigs. And we had 5 last month. So I suspect our house probably smells a little bit of guinea pig. And there's usually 2 types of smells of these people's houses. Either they stink of cigarette smoke, which is just the worst, especially when I've just come out of the car, nice. Oh, it is nice and chilly. Oh, that brings out the sinuses. And then they open the door and it's just a waft of just horrendous cigarette smoke smell. And you can tell by the fact that I'm actually stopping and I've got things to do. Right, I will actually continue talking while this is happening. You have not paid online, so I'll get £8.70, £1.30. Yeah, or And that's some of these places I've been to, or it's wet dog. And I'm not entirely sure. I understand that stale smoke smell is probably worse, considering that there's probably still bits of smoke, and that will probably kill you through passive smoking. But it just smells so bad. So this is actually quite a bit later, but I wanted to do an addendum to my Simon Talks about delivery drivers, the trials and tribulations, or whatever the hell I called it. Because it's happened like 3 times today. The amount of people that come to the door naked. Not naked. I apologise for this road, it's pretty shitty. Not entirely naked. Some of them underwear. Well, all of them have underwear on, but that's topless, or ladies with their what do you call it? Just dressing gowns on. It's lots of them do this, and it's even worse when they send their kids to do it as well. Kids to the little Jeffrey, I don't fucking know, Jeffrey, go to the door. All right, mother, I'll go get it. But you're in just your underwear. I don't know about you, but when did it become customary for your children to just wear just their underwear in the house? I mean, if you do what the fuck you want, but when I was like that, I don't think I ever wore underwear like that. Probably because my house was cold and our central heating didn't work until I was like 17. So yeah, it's just a bit weird if you come to the door in your underwear, especially when you're sending your children to do that who are also in there just their underwear. So I'm really hoping to try and get this maybe in like a few takes, rather than me keep having to pause and unpause and all that stuff. I mean, I'm probably going to try and do these when I'm going to a really long one, so to speak, to quite a far off one. I don't really know, we'll see. I still haven't been able to look up stuff, so I just thought about doing this and thought, well, I've fuck all else to do while I'm doing this. I even listen to music. I'm actually listening to Cox and Crendor in the morning, the Cox and Crendor podcast. I'm actually on like episode 80. I listened to them all from the start and I fucking love it. It's fantastic stuff. I would thoroughly recommend it. I'm also going to try and put all the stories that I'm doing in the doobly-doo in the description. I'm going to give it a go because I don't really know if I remember to or not, but I'll try. Right, I've just gone and dropped off a drop-off, obviously. Yeah. And I just did a quick look on the technology subreddit, and some bloke was talking about gene editing of quote-unquote designer babies. So we'll have a chat about that then, shall we? I'm not an edit. I'm not an edit. I'm not an expert in this field in the slightest. My field is environmental sciences and global climate change and geology. But yeah, we'll talk about it anyway because it seems. I mean, you could talk about it. It's more about the ethical issues, I think, we'll be going into, because I won't be talking about the science of it, because I don't know any of the science of it. Well, I suppose it's not. Oh, hello, Carl, well done. It's not too hard. So, where does it draw the line from being I'm trying to figure out the best way to describe this. I'll just say, when does it become non-ethical? Unethical? Unethical. Yeah, that's the word. Unethical. So I'm going to say it becomes unethical as soon as you just start designing babies to how you want them to be, rather than to how they should be. Let me explain. I'm going to draw the line in the differences between should be and want to be. Should be is how babies should be as when they are born, as in like healthy, have one heart, 5 toes, four fingers and your thumb, all that stuff. That's how they should be as when they are born. How you want them to be is, you know, giving them hair, a colour of hair that you want them to have, or I don't know. Choosing the gender of your baby is not something. I think it's something you can do that anyway now, can't you? Because I'm fairly sure you can. It's just basically, I think it's picking out certain sperms. But you know, so that's not really. I just noticed that the car. Sorry, this is entirely other, but the car in front of me's license plate is GMO. That's hilarious. Oh dear. So yeah, it pretty much becomes unethical at that particular point when you go, oh, I want my little baby to have blonde hair, be good at maths and other stuff. It seems you are then taking away of what that kid could be in any other sense, because making sure, like, the should be part of this is like you're editing the gene so that it doesn't come out with autism or anything like that. I'm not saying anything like autistic people are bad or anything like that, or you know, but well, it depends on the spectrum, really, doesn't it? I mean, you can have really low-end, I don't know the term for it, low-end autistic people who are perfectly fine in their society, but some of them just need constant care. And if you were, like, for instance, me, if I knew that my baby was going to be born with an illness that would detract from its quality of life and my quality of life, I would have it. We would have an abortion, because don't get me wrong, I would love my children, but oh shit, I wasn't looking where I was going there. Yeah, so in the middle of the designer baby stuff. Yes, I don't think I could. I mean, well, whatever happens, the child is my child and all that. I just saw a dog poo, lovely. But I don't think I could go through the work and the pain that you get from having to go to caring for this child who may not live past a certain age. You may disagree, and that's perfectly fine, but I'm a stern believer that your life is your own. Like, my family got really annoyed at me when I moved back into my old house with my father. My father at the time was suffering from neuron disease, and I certainly told them, I'm not here to help look after him, even though I did. I'm not here to help look after him. I'm here because I have nowhere else to live. And some of them took offence to that. It's like, well, he's your father, you take care of him for 18 years. But that doesn't mean anything. I don't owe my father anything because of that. Because, I mean, I'm really trying to say this without being too offensive to people, but I think I'll have to get rid of that and just say, I did not choose this. I did not ask to be born. And I did not ask for my father the way he was. Well, he was a fantastic father, that's not the point. Number 60, okay, I'm somewhere I need to be. So, you are in control of your own life. You owe nothing to anyone. And anyone who says anything other is really trying to get more out than what you are. So, let me continue this in a sec. Video recording has a pause button. I didn't realise. That's really handy. So, your life is your own. Anyway, that was a bit of a tangent. Let's get back to actual designer babies and whatnot. My opinion is, to summarise, if your editing the genes of your child so that it does not have a disease that could possibly either ruin its quality of life or its lifespan. That's the word I'm looking for. If you have a child who's desperately ill, I'm not advocating euthanasia, although I am 100% for euthanasia if the party wants it to happen. But if you have a child that's desperately ill and only lives for 3 years, what kind of quality of life has that child had? Let's say 3 years worth of just pain and not being able to see the world and just possibly been in hospital for 90% of the time. It's cruel to have subjected your child to that sort of thing. Now, obviously, at this point, parents may not know that the child has this sort of illness, which is unfortunate. So, it's really not the fault of the parents now. However, if it comes to a point where we scan children, oh, your child has and could not possibly live past 5 years old, would it be that the efficacy really changes there, doesn't it? Is it ethical for you to have that child or not? I would say no, because you're not giving that child the quality. I mean, suppose you're giving the child the best quality of life that you could possibly give it, but you can't give it any more because you can't cure that particular disease. So this is just a very thin ice, isn't it? It's just, I mean, the amount of different opinions people are going to have. So, I think we're drawing this to a conclusion now. This has been very higgledy-piggledy because I've not really had any clear thoughts of what subjects I'm going to be doing. But I would like, if you want any discussions in the comment section, then please do. The issue is, well, there's not really an issue. I'm going to heavily moderate it. I do not care if you have a opposing view to me. That's perfectly fine. You can discuss it in the comments. Just there's a difference between discussing and having a fight. Discussing is you're discussing the opinion. You're discussing the view. Having a fight is you're discussing your character. That was my bottle of Coke, I think. So if you say, for instance, I'm a fan of Hillary, and then someone replies with, I don't agree with you, I'm a fan of Trump. That is discussing. I'm a fan of Hillary. Well, you're a twat for liking Hillary. Oh, I'm a fan of Trump. That's having a fight. So, as long as you don't insult the character of the person, calling someone an idiot for having that particular view is not discussion. That's just being an idiot, as it were. Ironically, me calling them an idiot. But if you would like to discuss all of the stuff that I've done, I said here, then feel free to. I will try and comment back and reply and stuff like that. It's going to be a bit weird because YouTube has stopped actually giving me notifications for my videos for some reason. I now no longer get notifications for comments, which is very annoying. But like I said, anyone who's watching this and wants to have a discussion, then go ahead. I don't particularly mind. So I'm going to try and get this up. I'm going to get this up tomorrow on Tuesday. I don't know what date that is because I've entirely forgotten. Oh, it's Friday the 13th next week, isn't it? This week, isn't it? So 13th, 12th is Thursday, 11th is Wednesday, 10th is Tuesday, so 10th. Yes, okay, so this should be on the 10th. And I'm hoping next week I'll be, speeding slightly. Hopefully by this time I would have some stuff I can talk about next week. I only really need like an hour's worth of stuff. I mean, like I said, I would like politics. I might not do the politics stuff because I'm not as well versed in that sort of stuff than I am everything else. And I'm really hoping that the this comes out okay because of that, for instance. Not exactly the best audio. I will try and see if I can sort out some other audio if it does fuck up. But as for now, I shall see you next time. Thank you very much for watching / listening. If I just make this into a podcast as well. Bye bye now.